What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Poke Checking Cards. Really excited to watch some hockey. It's opening night. I hope that you've all been enjoying it as well. The hype is at an all-time high, and it's only going to grow, in my opinion. And because the hype is at an all-time high, I wanted to talk about probably the most popular rookie card in hockey ever, and that is the Young Guns. And I am very, very close to being done with a project revolving Young Guns goalies that I'm excited to share with you, hopefully by the end of this week. The mail has been a fun one lately, hasn't it? But until then, I wanted to do, in my opinion, and again, I've spent just the last 2.5 months, 3 months, really looking at, the market and looking at the teams that these players are on and trying to make the best educated video like this that I could. And this is going to be the top 10 underrated Young Guns out there currently. These are all current players. I'll do one for retired players for sure in the future. I don't want to do overrated because I think that's one of the dumbest things to say about an athlete because they're already in professional sports, so nobody is overrated. Maybe they're overhyped, but not overrated. So anyways, I'm just going to go through the list here. I think I have it in a pretty good order. And we'll just kind of go from there. And then this is kind of based upon potential of them, potential of their team, current performance, and obviously what they've achieved in their careers. And so the list will make sense as I go through it. So number 10 on my list, I'm going to go with, I got to include this guy because if this team gets together, he's going to be the reason why, and that's Tristan Jarry. He just got a new big contract for the Penguins. He looked terrible today, but a lot of goalies are going to look bad to start the season, so I'm not putting too much weight on it. He's got a chance to, lead a team that has Crosby and Malkin on it still. So, you can't count the Penguins out. And again, if they have success, he's going to be a big part of it. He hasn't played a full season before. This is going to be his first full season, but you can still grab a copy of this for, around 13, 14, 15 bucks. And I think that's a really strong purchase and one that you should definitely make, especially because he's on the Penguins. So number 10, Tristan Jarry. Number 9, I wanted to include both goalies from this team, but I feel like he is going to get a little more playing time unless he gets hurt based upon his experience, and that's Philip Grubauer. Now, he is currently on the Colorado Avalanche. They have one of the most blessed offensive teams in the league. And just from what I've seen, even their defensemen have extraordinary offensive ability. So he might give up a couple of goals, but his team's going to be scoring, over that league average of 3 goals a game, probably around 4 or 5 most nights. And he's going to be between the pipes for most of it. So instead of including Francois, I wanted to include Grubauer at number 9. So lots of experience. I really think that he is going to have a strong season. Next up on my list is my second favorite team in the league now. I've made that decision, and that's going to be a guy who'll probably get 2/3 of the starts for Carolina, and that's Peter Mrazek. And, definitely got a lot of experience. He was decent last year at times, really bad at times, but also really good at times. He had the ability to, steal a game or two for his team. So he plays for the Carolina Hurricanes. They've got a really young, up-and-coming team, and I'm definitely all in on that team and the exciting players that they have, which we'll talk more about on this channel in the future. But number 8, Peter Mrazek. And again, I think you can grab this one for under 10 bucks, which is a really strong buy. Grubauer is about that same level. Next up on my list, this is number 6, Freddie Anderson. He currently plays for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and that all-Canadian division is going to be intense. And as I've been learning, Canadian hockey fans are obviously, not learning that they're crazy about hockey, but it's about the markets that these players are in. And he is in one of the hottest markets out there, and actually got a win today. High-scoring game, won the game 5-4. And he's going to be a big reason that Toronto is going to succeed this year. So you can still find one of these for around 25 to 30 bucks if you can still get that. I think that's a really strong buy. They have a strong chance of making the playoffs, obviously, but making a strong run in the cup with all that talent that they have on their team. So number 6, Freddie Anderson. That was, yep. So going up next, number 5. He plays for the Canucks. Braden Holtby, 2-time cup winner. Didn't have a great season last year. And so I think people, especially in the hobby, are kind of down on him. And so I feel like, he could have a resurgence in Vancouver. He's got a great team in front of him. A lot of good defensemen on that team. And, even with Thatcher Demko behind him, when it comes down, to the games that really, really matter, if he's healthy and playing well, he's going to see the majority of the starts. So you can, this one's a bit trickier. If you can find one in the 40 range, you're doing quite well. But I think this is one that's only going to grow in popularity in the future. I still think it's underappreciated based upon all the accomplishments that he's had in his career. So, number 5, Braden Holtby. Next up is a guy who, because Henrik Lundqvist has had to have surgery on his heart, and it seems like he's recovered quite well, and we're going to see him next year, hopefully, is the starting goalie for the Washington Capitals, and that's Ilya Samsonov. Now, he was already looking to basically split the starts, and if he would have played bad, had a bad stretch, then Lundqvist would be in the net as a safety measure, but he is going to get a lot of starts and a lot of chances to do well this year. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how he does, and I hope the Penguins score on him a lot. But other than that, I think Samsonov has a chance to really grow in the hobby as far as his popularity goes. And he's got a new coach, and I think that new coach is going to get the most out of this team this year. So you can find this one. If you can find this one under 30 right now, then I would jump on it. This guy is a stud in the making for sure. Washington feels really good about having him on their team, playing almost every game. So have fun tracking that. This guy's value has dropped off, but he's a cup winner. His team has a lot of talent on it, and that is Jordan Bennington. Now, when he won his cup, this card was, approaching the $70, $80 range, and that is, 2 years ago, before the hobby really went crazy. And you can get it for less than that now. So I would say really keep an eye on this player. This goalie, he's a fantastic talent. He's a guy that plays with a chip on his shoulder. Even when he's interviewed, I've noticed he just kind of, it's like he's got something to prove all the time. So I expect a really good year from him this year. Contract year. So be on the lookout for his cards. All right. So I am going to, we're going to do a bonus card at the end, of course. All right, number 9, yes, of course. Number 2 on the most underrated young guns has to be Andrei Vasilevsky. So you might think, well, dude, he just won a cup. Like, how could that even be? But with him, he's, for all of his accomplishments and all the wins and the team that he plays on, this card should be way higher than it is. This is one of the best goaltenders in the league right now, if not the best goaltender in the league. And you can still find this for, under $85, which doesn't make any sense. Even though they lost Kucherov, this team is still going to be performing at a high level. They won 5-1 against the Blackhawk team today, which isn't very good, but he looked fantastic in the net, and he's got a lot of scoring in front of him. So he'll probably lead the league in wins again, I would think. So number 2 on the list, Andrei Vasilevsky. And number 1, just because just the amount of talent this guy has. He did win a cup as a backup, but overall talent and skill-wise, he's up there with Carey Price. And the reason Carey's not on this list is because his card is extremely popular in the hobby. He plays for the biggest Canadian market there is. But this player, Tuukka Rask, I feel like at what his cards go for, 45 to 50 bucks, is absurdly cheap with what he's accomplished. So if you have a chance to go out and grab one of these, this would be my biggest target for people looking to get in on a goalie young guns card. If you want to pick up a card and just kind of sit on it and follow a guy's career, follow a guy's season, this is the one to grab. So Tuukka Rask, number 1 on my list. And as a little bonus card, because A, I love this card, and B, he's a backup now, so his popularity is kind of falling off. just keep an eye on this card right here. This is Marc-Andre Fleury's Young Gun. I mean, this is my favorite card in my collection right now for hockey, but I've started noticing his price dropping on this a little bit because he isn't quite in the spotlight like he's been the last couple of years. He's now the backup because Robin Lehner is the starter for Vegas. And the reason I didn't include Robin Lehner on this list is his card is just super, super popular right now with collectors. So anyways, keep an eye on this one, little bonus card. Hope everybody's excited for the season starting. I hope you enjoyed this video, just kind of some cards to keep an eye on, cards that I'm really excited to track throughout the year and just watch these guys play this year and understand what makes a goaltender a good goaltender or a great goaltender or a phenomenal goaltender. So I hope you can do the same. Enjoy the first week of the season. We'll talk again soon. Take care.